So the midweek and EOD update here on ES today. What we're talking about this morning, even based upon the weekly prep, is this 5790 to 94 area. We'll pay attention to that. And therefore, if we're auctioning and building above that, then we need to respect it. If we look above, build some volume, and then come back inside, we want to bring this sucker back across and traverse this pivot balance zone. Um, which the bottom is 57.54. We didn't get there today. We got down to 68s. But essentially this morning, in this early build, what we do see, a bit of an anomaly. Right here early on. So we have this notch down here. Pox resting at the high at that point in the session. Start to show a little bit of weakness. It's very slow, very slow activity. Go Gaussian, we start to test down a little bit. We're not able to get back above those 94s, and then we work our way down in snail's pace. We're pushing out and showing some simulation of resolution to that profile. But big takeaway here is that when you're looking at scenarios coming into a session, the response is key here. So we open up, we push up here, provides some scalp opportunity against that opening drive, against pivot, and so forth. But once we start to gravitate back inside of here, we're holding those areas that we were auctioning. I'm going to start exploring the other side. And I know that we have some more exciting news and stuff coming tomorrow, but today look above and currently fail. Now, still keeping this 90 to 94 on my radar. Do not want to fight. I do not want to fight this above 90 to 94 on ES, and I'll use ES as my canary to gauge NQ. So ES getting weak through here, gave some early indication of some weakness that was to come in NQ, and NQ had a lot more meat on the bone with this type of activity. And so pretty early on, one of the nuances that I noticed down here in the build, not only do we have this drive up and out of the 200s, which what we've talked about was getting outside of the pivot zones, and I know they expanded to this point, but getting outside of the pivot zones, pushing up in this direction, don't want to fight it. They were 88, 188 this morning, and so 188's down here. Get above that pretty quickly, and then we get ES popping back inside, showing that weakness. And the reason I drew this profile from the open to right here for BP 945 Central is because of this down here. And talk about different shapes and aspects of the profile. And so this is not a perfect 45-degree build, but this is certainly not a finished profile. And so when we do bring this out, we do get a little bit of that clearing up, forming more of a Gaussian curve throughout the rest of the session. So ES 57, 90 to 94, we don't want to fight it above that. And with NQ, this is going to be 210 to 200, this range through here that we want to be paying attention to. If we do step back inside of that, and I would look at that as weak and want to see that begin to traverse this zone, reoffer this above structure in order to come down into the 20,101s down to 20,089s to gauge continuation. If you have a resolution on profile, so for exhaustive look, then don't fight it. But if we do get continuation, looking at 19,977, and so I know I started off with the quicker time frame aspects, but we'll zoom out here on ES right here. So we have this slow grind all the way up, and so if we start to take out any of these lows, we can trigger some stops. And if we get back inside a previous week's value high, then we'll expect a test of pivot, which is 57.19. In the meantime, yes, probably going to be a slow go backs and so forth. But as long as we're not auctioning back above the 90-94 zone, then I want to set my sights on leaning on this being a bit soft in order to push into previous week's value high. Again, don't want to fight this above 57, 90, 92, 94 range up here because we can find continuation up to 58, 46, 3/4. So I'd rather see a look above, an exhaustive look and fail that provides some structure for me to comfortably get in on and counter trade than try to innovate if we continue to jam this sucker up. So NQ up here, what we can see on the 4-week rolling volume profile right here at 2010 or 20,210 and mentioned down to the 200 range. Yeah, it's because of the overlapping activity. And so we previously had the inside profile is the week to date. We previously had what an unfinished profile. We talked about this yesterday. It was right about here. And we looked at this and said, okay, which is more finished, top or the bottom? Well, obviously the bottom. So we test back into POC. We start to show some expansion, and that's a little bit cleaner there at this time. So as long as we're maintaining above 200, 210, then be very nimble. Don't fight that sucker because we can pop up to the 465, 3/4 range before seeing any type of exhaustion on that. But if we do come back inside of that, then what I want to do is treat that 200 to 210 range as potential reoffer to come into value over this node, especially if we shift POC up here to the 180s on the week. So if that POC shifts up, push underneath that LVN, then I want to see this traverse value essentially. So reoffer in 200, 210 zone, and then come across value into here. And then you have to gauge the response from previous week's value area high at 20,007. And obviously, weekly pivots way down here, but 977 right here can potentially open the gates to that, this high volume edge in this zone. So those are my thoughts here midweek. Let's continue to knock it out and just be very patient, allow it to show its hand, and lean on that structure. Let's get it done. All right, everybody, have a wonderful night.